Hey guys, what's going on? I am Jrboll, and I am bringing you today Storytime with Jrboll, which is where I tell exciting stories from my life, which there aren't very many, but I like them, and I'm going to tell you about them anyways. So I hope you enjoy. So this first story is how I got so into Call of Duty, and which is my first one was the first one I played online was Modern Warfare 2. I had World at War I got for Christmas one year. I guess the year it came out, and I didn't have my PS3 set up online because it wouldn't work for whatever reason. So I played that. I really liked that. Like, I played the campaign a lot on World at War. And then when Modern Warfare 2 came out, I didn't really care at all. But my brother, he had a lot of friends over. My brother's 2 years older than me, and they were a lot more into Call of Duty than I was, and they were talking about it. They were playing it here at my house the one night, and then I'm like, all right, I was fucking bored, so I decided to run out and get it, and I still didn't have my PS3 set up online. But I went out and got Modern Warfare 2. This was late November, early December of the year it came out. So, which was in the small town I live in. There's no GameStop, there's no EB Games, because I'm Canadian, and we have EB Games. And so I went up to Walmart, and they didn't have it, and I went to Zellers, they didn't have it. I ended up finding it at the real Canadian Superstore, a fucking grocery store, but they had it, and I bought it, and I played the shit out of that campaign, and Spec Ops. I played Spec Ops mostly with Gummy, who's been on my channel before. It's actually in a lot of my videos, and so we played that a lot. And then I think it was late. It would have been late January or early February. I'm like, all right, I've had enough of this shit. I want to play online. So I got a friend of mine over, who's a lot more tech savvy than I, because I'm technologically retarded, and I had him help me set up Modern Warfare 2, set up my PS3 so I could play online. And so I got started into Call of Duty Online, which I remember my first game. It was on high rise, and I was so scared to run out because I didn't want to die a lot. So I legit, where you spawn in the one building, I hid just kind of around the corner. I laid down and I kind of climbed into a cardboard box, and so I could see through it. And I literally laid there for the whole game, and I think I got one kill, and I died at one point, and so I kept dying and dying, but I got one kill, and I was pretty fucking proud of that. So that's how I started in Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty Online, and so I was playing that pretty regularly, and then that year I was grade 12, so I was 17 at the time. Anyways, so at that mid-February, I started a co-op for high school, and it was an all-day co-op. And I was doing construction, and actually today, which works out perfectly. I did not plan this for this commentary. 3 years ago today, April 20th. When I was on my construction co-op, I was up on a ladder, and the ladder sank. It was a really sandy area, and the ladder sank in the ground and fell off what it was leaning against, which was a ceiling joist in a house, which is a ceiling joist, in a quick description, is something that holds the floor up. Anyways, so it's a big beam that goes across like the roof, and so I was on an extension ladder that was leaning up against a ceiling joist, and it sank in the sand and fell off the joist, and I fell off backwards. I almost cracked my skull open on the foundation. I was really lucky. I was just a few inches away from that, but my ankle landed actually on the ladder, and it fractured my ankle. So and in this co-op, because it's a high school co-op, I wasn't getting paid for it. I had a job at Pizza Hut, which I was only working on the weekend, so I wasn't making very much money, just basically enough to pay for my car insurance and my gas. But that was about it. So I fractured my ankle, I went to the hospital, and I was put in an air cast, which is, I couldn't walk for about the first 4 days to a week. But after that, I could kind of put some weight on it, this air cast. It was a big black boot, basically. And so I started walking, but I found out I was on workers' compensation, which I ended up getting paid for a 40-hour week, because that was what I was doing on my co-op. But I wasn't getting paid for the co-op, so I ended up getting paid for something that I wasn't originally getting paid for, which was fantastic. And because it was an all-day co-op, I didn't have to go to school. Because even if I went and showed up at my school, I'd have nothing to do. I'd have no classes to go to. So I basically stayed home from April 20th to it was middle of August before I actually had this boot off. So I finished up school, which obviously ended in high school, ended in June. I have graduation pictures of wearing this stupid fucking boot. And all I did, because I didn't have to go to school, was I played Modern Warfare 2. I really liked that game. And I got about 21 days into it. I probably had like 3 or 4 before the co-op before I fell off the ladder. So that the rest of that is all from time spent when I was off on workers' compensation, because I was injured. And it was a pretty good gig, actually. Getting paid for something I wasn't getting paid for. All I had to do, I fucking stayed up till like 2 or 3 in the morning. I slept till like noon every day. I woke up, I'd fucking just play Call of Duty all day long. And it was pretty cool, actually. It was a good time in my life. I didn't have to work, I didn't have to do anything. It was awesome. But to do that, like, if that were to happen to me now, I'd hate it. Just because I like my job now, which is in construction. Not housing, construction anyways. But yeah, and that's how I fucking fell in love with Modern Warfare 2, how I played so much of it. It's pretty ridiculous, actually. I've played like 4 months straight. And I only got 21 days in, which is actually, doesn't seem like that much. But you can ask any of my friends. I live just around the corner from my high school. So I'd have friends stop by on our lunch hour. And usually if I was awake, because I wasn't always awake when they stopped by, but if I was awake, I was playing Call of Duty all the fucking time. But that was back when like everyone was playing it, Modern Warfare 2, so I got a lot more frustrated, and I really wasn't that good then. Still not that good now, but I can go back and do pretty decent. But hey, so that was my first story time with Jrboll. I hope you enjoyed, and have a nice day. And don't forget to leave a like below, because I like it when you like it.